Boyle Heights is a city in Los Angeles, California, and home to over 83,000 residents. It is a city rich in culture, and through research and interviews, we discovered the community of Boyle Heights is a place with diverse residents, predominantly Hispanic, who share similar experiences when it comes to healthcare, food availability, and daily living.
Start off by introducing yourself.
Okay. I'm Alex, and I've been a resident here in Los Angeles all my life. I'm 26 years old.
Do you have access to a primary care provider?
Yeah, I do. My domestic partner has it. My girlfriend. She has me under her insurance, and that's how I have access to it.
Okay. And so we are in Boyle Heights. How do you feel safe in general when you're around the area, or how do you feel about the area?
No. No. I mean, right now, yeah, it's the daytame, but no, I wouldn't be here like at nighttime. In certain parts of the area too. It's not all of it, but it's always just good to be cautious. That's it. Nothing crazy, but just in my experience.
Do you feel like the community of Boyle Heights has changed a lot?
Yeah, it has actually. A lot of new coffee shops and things like that, restaurants, buildings getting torn down. Just people in general. Yeah, it's just been a change.
Where do you purchase like your groceries and?
El Mercadito right here is pretty good. Has a lot of cool stuff. Has like by local vendors and all that. Has like your champorado snacks and stuff. Like esquites. And they also have like restaurants like tortas. Like a lot of very Hispanic based foods. But yeah, I like to get my food there.
Do you think it's affordable?
It's affordable? Yeah. It's way more affordable than like going to Whole Foods or something like that, which is cool too. But yeah, if you want something like local and quick, it's right there in Mercadito.
Okay.
Hey, my name is Eric Buenrostro. I am originally from the Bay Area. I moved out here to LA around 6 years ago now. Right now I work at a bank, and then I also run a nonprofit where we do one-on-one mentoring for college application students.
When you get sick, do you have a primary care provider you go to?
Honestly, I don't have like a primary care provider. I know I have health insurance through work, but I've honestly never really used it too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see like clinics, or do you feel like there's a lot of access to healthcare?
I think with majority of the population in Boyle Heights being an immigrant community, I know a lot of them fear institutions and fear I don't know, just going to the doctors or giving up any documentation like that. Yeah.
Okay. In the last years that you've been living here in Boyle Heights, do you feel the community has changed in any way?
I think it's definitely changing. I think I haven't been here long enough to see any substantial changes within myself, but just seeing houses around the neighborhood become evicted, or kind of like seeing it go vacant, or kind of seeing people stop living there, and then the buildings becoming renovated for them to be leased out for a higher rent. I think I've noticed that a lot. Although it's a slow process, I feel like I haven't been able to see it too much. I try to not be part of the problem, although sometimes it can be inevitable. But
okay. Finally, what stores do you purchase groceries, and do you feel like there's affordable and healthy options for food?
I usually go to either Ralph's or Trader Joe's, just because those are the ones that are kind of more convenient for me. None of those are within Boyle Heights. One of them is Trader Joe's. I go right after work in Pasadena, and then Ralph's I go right after the gym in Alhambra. So those are pretty far away from here. When I do go shopping around here, I usually just go to the corner store. It's honestly not the most healthy options, or but it gets the job done.
After speaking with Boyle Heights residents about their experiences living in their neighborhood, we decided to interview a street medicine PA and learn more about the unhoused population that also resides in Boyle Heights. How does the work of street medicine differ from traditional healthcare delivery?
So I come from an ER background, and then before that did primary care and brick and mortars like in FQs around LA. So I've been able to kind of see like the full spectrum. But I think the key is really when you get to go to people in their lived environments that you have so much more context to And so I genuinely think that it makes it so that I can devise a much better plan that's appropriate for folks. So you have to modify so much of your plans based on what you're seeing, based on what you're witnessing, and based on the questions that you can ask by just being around somebody, and also then looking up and seeing what's around them as well. Because if they're in a food desert, it's going to change everything. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things.
What are some of the most common health issues you encounter in the population you serve?
So it's kind of a lot of the usual things. Hypertension is really, really prominent. Cardiac disease is also prominent. Respiratory illnesses, whether it's acute or chronic. We do have some mental health that we encounter, substance use, and then a lot of skin infections are really, really common that we see, and some trauma kind of related stuff, whether it's from recent or from like a distant trauma, that kind of thing. We're usually helping for.
Would you say there's a sufficient amount of medical facilities to help out the residents in Boyle Heights?
The folks that I speak to have a hard time accessing what is here. So whether it's a volume issue, or whether it's a geographic issue, or whether it's just a comfort issue, a lot of my folks are not accessing them in a way that's meaningful for them. And so I think that that's probably an important thing to think about.
Aside from like healthcare, what additional resources do the residents of Boyle Heights seek?
I think for the most part, our folks are really, like, housing is really important for our folks. Our folks are always interested in getting connected to CalFresh, GR, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think my folks have too hard of a time getting to the GR office. I think that tends to be okay. But really the housing services is like the top of the top.
Despite limited access to healthcare by most of the residents, efforts like USC Street Medicine, low-income clinics like White Memorial, Oscar Romero Clinic, and Ultimed are accessible. As for housing, the City of Boyle Heights is incentivizing transient-oriented communities that will save residents costs on rent and transportation. We concluded Boyle Heights is a resilient community of a variety of cultures that continues to thrive and move forward in reaching its full potential.